So today we're going to be learning how to create an object without using the new keyword and also using the constructor function. So before we do that, we need to understand how dot apply or dot call or anything works like that. So let's say we have a function. It says caller, and it's just gonna call. It's gonna console log something. Since we're gonna be using object, let's create an object there with a name property of Pragyan and age property of 20. I'm old. So if I say if I want to display the name and age, I cannot do it. I mean, I can do it. I can just say console.log object.name and that. But we want to create a function which is gonna accept this. So we're gonna be working with the this keyword. So what we have to do is this function has to say your name is this dot name and you are this dot age years old. Now, if we say something like let's connect. Now this is where the function instance method comes into play. Let's use call. This is the only one I'm going to teach today. Call accepts two parameters. One's going to be it doesn't necessarily accept two parameters. It also works with one parameter, but the necessary parameter is the object, which is passed as the this here. That's it. So if I say this, it's going to say your name is again. Okay, it's going to call an error. Okay, my bad. We cannot have two same. Right. So if I call this, it's still going to call me an error. Object is not defined. Okay, sorry. Object one, and this is gallery. All right. Naming conventions, guys. Fuck them. All right. Your name is this. So this is how it works. If I can also pass parameters here, something like goal. Let's say something like goal, right? And if I just say dot, for now I'm just gonna say uh, $sign and how to do it. Argument is something we have to know, but just for now you're gonna know it. So how this works is it takes the argument and then boom puts it there. So now that we have discussed the instance method call and how to use it, we're gonna start doing the thing we were supposed to. First of all, let's just create a constructor which is gonna hold our variables name and age. We know how to do this. This is nothing intense. Baby stuff. Let's go. And we're also gonna create a prototype for this. It's a equals to function console.log. We're gonna say your name is $. My God. And your age is this dot age. So we have that. It will work if we just do const p equals to new person and blah blah blah. But the thing is, we are not using new keywords. So how do we do it? So for that, we have to set up a factory function. Factory function is just a glorified word for a function that returns an object. So function personal, and we need to just say p equals to person, and we put on some parameters here. So basically, if we just do this and say something like name equals to khati, and if I just log the p, then it's gonna be an um, oh my bad, that's my bad. So yeah, in when we have this, it's just a function that returns an object. It's a glorified that. Now what we want to do is we want to create an object which has the prototype, which inherits the prototype this. So to do that, it's quite easy. We just can use an object instance, which is object.create person. Now the mistake most of the people, including me, because I was stuck on this code for like about 15 minutes. I was doing this. The thing this is the reason this is wrong is we have to put a prototype here, because if we cannot create person is a constructor, we cannot create object.create with a constructor. We have to object.create with a prototype. So yeah, that's the idea. Now let's edit an object. We have to write one more line of code, which is going to give our object. We're returning an object. As I said, factory function is nothing but a glorified object returner. Now, what we have to do is this is a function, right? This is a constructor function. So person dot call. That's it. So all we're doing now, what we're doing is we have to pass this object so it gets recognized in this person constructor. So we are passing the object. It's the same. Right now it's the same. For the parameters, it's quite difficult. We have not set our parameters yet. So let's set that. Gradyan Khati and let's say 20. The key thing we are going to be missing here is one thing. It's a class. Don't do that actually. That's a bad. Capital C because C is a reserved keyword, so you might run into errors. Anyways, so class we're gonna have the 20. Now, actually, no, don't do a class, just do a constructor for now, and this is gonna be your parameters. Alright. So the thing is, this person, we have this person, but we are not gonna be using that. So what we have to do is we have to use parameters. This is gonna take constructor because dot call only works for function, so it automatically takes the parameters. Now parameters is this is basically just a constructor which is gonna call let me write person here because we are not doing that. No, that's it. Now all we have to do is pass the rest of these parameters. Pass the rest of the parameters is quite easy. As I said, this passes as arguments, so we can dot arguments. It's basically an array of Pragyan Khati and 20, but we don't. Oh, this is basically an array of person Pragyan Khati and 20, but we don't want this. So we are slicing dot slice from one, which is the index one. But this is not going to work because an object the call one accepts it only with a number of parameters. This is not a number of parameters. This is still an array. So we have to use dot. Now if I say p dot display, you want to do the console.log because it's not going to return anything. And execute it, it should work, and it does work. So the basic idea is very simple. We use a person. I think parameter. Let's just say it's a constructor. That's a better thing in naming, but I still don't give a fuck. Like, as long as you get it, you do your job. It's still gonna say yeah. Okay. I mean, don't do small c. That's gonna be a big error. I don't think so because you're still not inside class, so let me try that. Let me quickly try that, but it's never a good practice to do that because it's never use keywords that can be used in some other ways. It's just a good habit, coding habit we should develop. Now, this is very simple. We are passing parameters of person drawing at 20. We are creating we are creating an object that's this prototype, so we can use its prototypes. Now we are also calling the object with this function, which is person function, which accepts these parameters and assigns those. So if I say console.log p.name as well, I get the values, which is per and copy. So yeah, that's it. That's how dot call or dot apply works. Okay, let me just resolve the dot apply as well. It's not that tough to do. Dot apply is just apply. You don't have to use this, and I think that's it. If I use the display here, I just say I just call display here. It's gonna work because it's supposed to.